Singapore shuts another bank linked to 1MDB. Samsung halts sales of Note 7. I'm Sohaila Saifuddin for Cuppa News. Singapore's central bank shut down a second Swiss bank in the city-state and fined banks DBS and UBS in its biggest crackdown on alleged money laundering activities connected with 1MDB. The Monetary Authority of Singapore MAS said in a statement it had ordered Falcon Private Bank's Singapore branch to cease operating because of a persistent and severe lack of understanding of Singapore's money laundering controls. It also accused Falcon's senior management in Switzerland and Singapore of improper conduct. Singapore branch manager Jens Sturzenegger was arrested by the city-state's Commercial Affairs Department on October 5th. MAS also announced that it has fined local bank DBS and Swiss lender UBS in relation to their 1MDB-related fund flows. The action followed a similar move against Swiss-based BSI Bank's Singapore branch in May, also for failing to control money laundering activities connected with 1MDB. Singapore has so far charged 3 former BSI bankers and others for their roles in 1MDB-related transactions. 1MDB is the subject of money laundering investigations in at least 6 countries, including Switzerland, Singapore and the US. Her name is Rosliza Ibrahim, but she is a Buddhist, raised as one and still practicing the religion. Today, the Court of Appeal ordered a rehearing of her case seeking exemption from Selangor's enacted Islamic law and Sharia courts. The 35-year-old woman was born out of wedlock and raised by her Buddhist mother. But she is considered Muslim due to her biological father.
We advised her and said that, okay, let's write to all of these government departments and find out whether they even have a record of your parents getting married. All the religious departments wrote back to us and said 2 things. Number 1, we don't have a record of your parents getting married. And number 2, we have no record of your mother converting to Islam. It's very clear, the girl is obviously an illegitimate child. The father has no rights over her at all. Like I said earlier, she's a byproduct in Islam, she's a byproduct of zina, so not considered as having any rights relatable to the father.
The Court of Appeal ruled that the case to be transferred back to the High Court in Shah Alam to be heard by a different judge. In the Sabah Water Department corruption scandal, the Kota Kinabalu Magistrates Court extended the remand for the 4 suspects. The department's director, Awang Tahir Awang Talib, would continue to be held at the MACC lockup for 5 days, while his deputy, Teo Chi Kong, and his businessman, Datuk brother, as well as accountant, would remain under custody for another 7 days. Awang Tahir and Teo allegedly took kickbacks and were involved in money laundering from 3.3 billion ringgit worth of federal projects. The MACC has so far uncovered unprecedented amounts of wealth, including 53.7 million ringgit in cash. Pakatan Harapan has called for the resignation of EC Chief Datuk Seri Muhammad Hashim Abdullah and postponement of the redelineation exercise until an independent commission is formed.
Saya ingin menyerulah kerana SPR telah pun tidak menghormati, telah mengabaikan dan mengetepikan prinsip yang penting ini. Maka pengerusinya, Datuk Seri Muhammad Hashim, harus meletak jawatan, harus step down.
Kami melihat satu persatu episod yang menunjukkan wujudnya konspirasi tersusun oleh pihak SPR. Direncanakan bersama UMNO Barisan Nasional untuk mengalahkan kerusi-kerusi sasaran pembangkang yang dimenangi pilihan raya umum yang ke-13. Malangnya, badan yang wajib melaksanakan tugas-tugasan merangka semula sempadan tidak mengikut lunas-lunas perlembagaan. Di manakah perlu kami pergi? Kami sudah bawakan bantahan. Adakah SPR mendengar pada saya kewajipan mereka dengan serta-merta bukan saja meletakkan jawatan, menyahkan proses ini sehinggalah sebuah badan independen baru yang merangka sempadan diwujudkan.
Tan and Nurul, along with 8 other FT opposition leaders, submitted objections on the proposed electoral redelineation exercise to Kuala Lumpur EC Deputy Director Nur Barna Yendos Kaadih on Tuesday. Red Shirts leader Datuk Seri Jamal Yunos has left the country as police seek his assistance in their investigation into the assault of a Bersih supporter in Sabak Bernam. Selangor Police Chief Dato' Abdul Samad Mat told The Star that Jamal would be questioned as soon as he returns from abroad before deciding on the next course of action. He added that 2 suspects were arrested on Monday and released on police bail. This brings the number of arrests to 5 so far. Meanwhile, 21 lawyers have joined forces to represent the Red Shirts and its supporters in view of criminal charges.
Rakan kita yang dilihat menendang baju kuning itu dan juga ada seorang lagi yang polis sedang menjejaki mereka, kita akan bantu juga daripada segi guaman ini secara percuma, secara pro bono oleh tadilah panel of lawyers kita.
Police are investigating the case under Section 147 of the Penal Code for rioting. Thai police have warned of a plot to target Bangkok with car bombs, sparking a security alert across the capital, including at airports. An unusually detailed police memo was handed to reporters on Monday, warning that an unidentified group was planning to target Bangkok between October 25th and 30th. The memo said areas such as malls, car parks and tourist attractions were at risk and ordered police to be extra vigilant. A year earlier, a bomb tore through the popular Erawan shrine, killing 20, including 5 members of a Malaysian family and wounding more than 100. 2 Chinese Uyghurs are currently on trial for the attack. Meanwhile, the Philippine National Police thwarted an attempt by a Malaysian bomb expert to stage attacks right in the heart of Manila. Muhammad Amin was presented in a press briefing on Monday. He was arrested at 4 a.m. on Saturday during a raid in Quezon City. Also arrested were Bilal Ta'alam, the owner of the house where Amin was staying, and Adnan Malangkis. The trio are believed to have links with the Abu Sayyaf group in Sulu. In other news, Samsung Electronics told customers on Tuesday to stop using their Galaxy Note 7 smartphones while it investigates reports of fires in the devices. The world's top smartphone maker has also asked all global carriers to stop sales of the Note 7s and the exchange of original devices for replacements. Shiite Muslims in the Syrian capital Damascus commemorated the holy day of Ashura on through the streets of the capital's Zain al-Abidin district. The occasion passed without incident on Monday after the procession was targeted by Sunni militants from the neighbouring district of Daraya last year. Waving chickens over their heads is one of the rituals Orthodox Jews carry out ahead of their holiest day of the year, Yom Kippur. By doing so, the person's sins are said to be symbolically transferred to the bird. Ben Affleck made number crunching sexy at the LA premiere of his latest movie, The Accountant. In the action thriller, he plays an autistic math savant who cooks the books for some of the world's most despicable mobsters and leaders of rogue states. The Accountant hits local theatres on October 20th.
Imagine the secrets this guy has.
Who are you?
And that wraps up our bulletin. Thanks for watching and good night.